lovely Cancerians. How are you guys? This is Debs and this is your reading for mid-April 2025. Now, Cancer. In my usual vision, I saw a woman with quite a large dog. She'd taken the dog to the vet because the dog just didn't seem happy. He was really growly, he was bad-tempered, he snapped at friends that knocked on the door, and she was worried. But after this checkup, the vet turned to her and said, look, I've done a scan, his heart's okay, there's no burrs stuck in his fur, I checked his teeth. I'm mystified. I just don't understand what this is all about. What I would recommend is you taking this dog to someone who may understand behavioural issues with animals. So this woman went along, saw this guy, and this guy said, I just can't tell what's wrong with this dog. I tried giving this dog different food. I tried isolating this dog so the dog isn't around other dogs. I've done everything I can, but we've still got this problem. So the woman went back to the vet and said, okay, not happy. I want to find out the root cause of this because my dog, when he was a puppy, used to be really, really happy, bouncing around, full of the joys of spring. I just can't bear to see him like that. So the vet then did another really deep examination. And just towards the end of the examination, the vet turned over one of the dog's paws and looked very closely and realised there was a tiny shard of glass that had embedded itself between the claw and the dog's foot. And it had swollen a little bit and it had become infected. It was tiny. And the vet turned to the woman and said, look, I found this tiny shard of glass. It's no bigger than a grain of sand, but it's embedded very deeply. We couldn't see it under X-ray. Unless you looked very carefully, you wouldn't have known. That is the problem. And so they gave the dog an anaesthetic. They got out this tiny, tiny shard of glass, wrapped up the dog's paw, and they said, okay, it's going to be sore for a few weeks, but just give it some time and your dog will be fine. When I came out of meditation, Cancer, what I heard from Archangel Michael was, you're going to realise this goes a lot deeper than you thought. I feel that what we're dealing with here is you having an issue with someone. It might be you feel they are out of order. You might feel they are blowing up something to become a mountain, making a mountain out of a molehill. You may feel they're being totally unreasonable. There is a much deeper issue involved, or this person isn't suffering from what you think they're suffering from. This is something that might go way back, okay? Yeah. All right, Cancer. Wow. Long intro. Sorry about that, guys. Let's jump in. I don't need to tell you, if you want to book a private reading with me, my website's down below. All the links are listed and the link to join the channel is there too. So, my lovely Cancerians, now, you could have issues with a child. You may not know what's going on with a child, or you could have issues with a partner. Four of Wands. This is someone you're very close to, Cancer. This is either a family dynamic or you could be living with this person. The Four of Wands is about stability. Okay, so Archangel Michael, what do we have for my lovely Cancerians, please? Okay, I can see someone questioning a person who's looking really upset. And they're saying, look, for goodness sake, just tell me what this is. We could talk this through. And they're being very defensive and saying, I'm fine. I just don't want to talk about it. And that's it. Oh, Cancer. Okay. I feel you may be trying to cajole someone into opening up with you, but it's as if they're shut down tight. It's as if you can't get close to this person emotionally. Even if you tried, it's just impossible. And you're getting a little bit fed up with sort of walking on eggshells around them, right? You want to know what's really going on. You're going to need to push a little bit further, Cancer. It might make you feel uncomfortable. Because if you push this person a little bit more, they're going to explode or they're going to burst into tears. And then you can pick apart what this really is all about. Because it's not what you think it is. It's just not what you think it is, guys, okay? Page of Cups. This might relate to a child. Or you may have said to this person, Cancer, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I was a bit off with you the other day. You know, I didn't mean to be. I was just tired, or I had something on my mind. You may feel, Cancer, it's about you. Four of Cups. But the response you got was almost silence. And you worried. You might have been a bit obsessed with this in your mind. Well, you know what? I didn't say good morning to this person a couple of days ago. Are they really moody about that? Cancer, you have been sort of scratching your head thinking, what is this really all about? And it's been upsetting you guys. The Nine of Cups. In the past, Cancer, you may have indulged this person because you may have felt they needed a bit of cosseting. You may have sensed that this person was a little down, a bit depressed, or this is someone who had difficulty in making friends or something like that. After that time with the Three of Pentacles, you may have consulted someone about this. If this is maybe a child, Cancer, you may have talked to someone about a personality disorder or something similar. You know, I can't get through to this person. What am I doing wrong? That sort of thing. Or there was gossip in the community about this person. Now, Cancer, this need not be a child. This could be somebody, though, who's been very petulant with you. This could be a partner. This could be somebody you're dating, okay? In your thoughts, Cancer, the Star. What you're thinking about is this person has everything they need. This is someone who may be doing quite well in their career. You don't understand why this person is being so difficult with you. You don't get it. In the immediate future, the Ten of Pentacles. You may be talking to this person about your commitment. If this is someone you're with, you could have been living with this person. You want to know what's the problem. You may be talking to this person about money. Is it just fear about financial loss? Or is this person on the breadline? You're having a chat about the Ten of Pentacles. In your fears, guys, the High Priestess. Fearing this person will never actually tell you what's really wrong, what's really going on. You're worried, Cancer, they're keeping something from you, which is causing them to sort of lash out, or is causing them to be very defensive with you. You're trying to figure out what this is, guys. In this person's energy, Cancer, this is the person you're worried about. The Page of Swords. This could be a child of yours, or this is somebody who's acting a little childish. They're turning their back on you. They're being a little petulant. They're very abrupt with you. They're very sharp. In your hopes, Cancer, Ten of Wands, you just want to put the burden down. This has been really stressing you out. You are convinced that this person is keeping something from you. They are not going to relay to you what that is. And this is the real reason why they're very upset. The outcome. The Two of Pentacles. Cancer, if this is a partner, you may come to realize that this person thinks you've been cheating on them. And they're being very short and blunt with you. If this is a page, this could be your child. What you're realizing, Cancer, is this is someone sat in fear because they don't think they're going to be able to support themselves much longer. If Cancer, this person is a child, could be your child, what you're realizing is this is someone who, despite on the outside, they're looking as if they're doing very well in their career. This is someone who may have a huge amount of expenses. And this is you recognizing, Cancer, that actually they are juggling 2 pentacles and they're terrified. Now, if you're a parent, Cancer, this is a child who doesn't want to admit to their mum or dad that they spent too much money when they were younger, or they got themselves into financial problems. It could be fear, Cancer, that you chastise them. This is somebody who may be in their 20s now, right? Clarification for you, Cancer, the Empress. Okay. 8 of Wands. Cancer, if you're a feminine, you really want to know what's really going on with this person. If you're a masculine, you may be having a very straight conversation with your wife or the mother of your child or children, the Empress. Whatever the situation is, Cancer, this has been something that's buried deep within this person. This is someone who may not have wanted people to know what they were actually coping with. This is someone who may have isolated themselves because they wanted to be independent, they wanted to be successful, but this is someone who may quietly have been very, very nervous that they couldn't afford to pay their rent or their mortgage, but they just couldn't bear to tell you the blunt truth. Again, maybe through fear of you saying, well, for goodness sake, you've got a great job, where's all the money gone? You know, that sort of thing. So Cancer, whether you're male or female, you are maybe talking to this person about a long-term commitment or about a family situation or family money. You're talking to them about the 10 of Pentacles. They're turning their back on you and they may come out with something a bit harsh. Page of Swords. Clarification for this person is interesting. The 5 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Cups. Okay, Cancer. If we're looking at a relationship, this is someone who's convinced themselves you've met someone else. They've convinced themselves that you're going to leave them at any moment. They're terrified of feeling left out in the cold. They're terrified that you're going to walk away. So what they're doing is they're detaching their emotions from you with the view that it's going to be easier when you leave them. Now, this is somebody who may have suffered abandonment issues way back, even going back as far as childhood. They're emotionally disconnecting from you, Cancer, because this is someone who feels they're better off by themselves. It will be less painful to be by themselves. But on the switch side, they're nervous about going in alone. So whoever this is, they're up in their head dealing with a lot of emotion. If this is a child, Cancer, even though on the outside they may look as if they're doing really well with the energy of the star, what you don't know is that they're actually sitting in the 5 of Pentacles. Now, you may feel, Cancer, well, gosh, you know, this person told me last year that they're sitting on 20 grand. But Cancer, what they may not have told you is they actually owe 15 grand. It could be tax. It could be debt. You may have an idea, Cancer, that this person's sitting on quite a lot of money, but there may be an awful lot of money going out that you don't know about. So what this person's thinking about is, well, for goodness sake, once the 15 grand goes out of my account, I'm not going to have very much to live on. And if this is someone who has tried to give themselves a really good lifestyle, which may be quite expensive, they may be held 2 or 3 year lease in an apartment they can't now afford, that sort of thing. It's challenging. They're not going to tell you this, Cancer, if they're a child of yours, because they may feel as if you turn around and say, well, it's your fault, right? You shouldn't have lived so extravagantly, or you should have lived far more frugally. They don't want to hear, I told you so. So they're just being prickly with you. So guys, underneath the deck, we have the Hierophant. Now this could be a Taurian that you're talking to, or this could be a marriage, or this could be a family situation. And we've got Judgment. Okay, we've got Judgment. So we've got Taurus and Sag, and we have the Four of Wands. So, my lovely Cancerians, shall we get into this? With the Page of Cups and the Four of Cups, you may have tried to get this person to open up. You may even have said to this person, did I do something to upset you? Is it me? You may have just realised that this person didn't want to talk, or you may have just been met with silence, or this person may have turned around and said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I can't talk now. You're nervous, Cancer, because this is an issue that you know needs to be resolved, but unless you know what the issue is, you can't do anything about this. You can't sort this out. This is someone who's clammed up. This is somebody who, up until this point of time, has not been speaking. So in the past, guys, Nine of Cups. What was the Nine of Cups energy? Temperance. Okay, Sag energy. This could be a Sag. Or this is someone that you felt was very comfortable, living a decent life. You know, things were good. Nine of Wands. But they always seemed to be tired, or something always seemed to bother them. But they didn't talk about it. Okay. After that time, Cancer, Three of Pentacles now. There may have been gossip. You may have wondered, Cancer, if this was a partner, whether or not they were having a fling with someone else. You might have been thinking, well, maybe they fell in love with somebody else and had a fling and I never knew. And if that's the case, you know, you're thinking, well, I don't need to apologise. They should, right? Or there might have been a conversation with 2 or 3 other people that you were talking to, trying to get to the root of what this was. If, for instance, this is a child, could be a grown child. So in the immediate past, Cancer, you tried to figure out what this was. 7 of Wands, yeah. But all you were met with was a wall. Very defensive, very defensive. And they may even have started an argument. They may have said to you, Cancer, something like, I'm just very busy. I've got a lot to do. I've got a lot on my mind. I've got a lot to sort out. They kind of shut you out, though, Cancer. That's what I'm getting here. They kind of just shut you out. Yeah, 2 of Swords. Wow. They kind of just pushed you back. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Sort of leave me alone type energy. What you're thinking about, Cancer, is you want to heal whatever this is, whether or not this is a relationship, whether or not your child's going through an issue. You want to find out what this is. I keep hearing from Archangel Michael, this goes much deeper than you would imagine. This is something that's not blatantly obvious. But because this person might be very private, or because this person is feeling very nervous, they've shut down. But you can't carry on like this. So, what you're thinking about, Cancer, is the Star. As far as you're concerned, this person is fine. If this is a child of yours, or you may feel your partner just works long hours, they're fine. They're doing well. But you may find out something with a Tower. You may find out something, Cancer, which is shocking. Shocking. 5 of Cups. I think, Cancer, what you're realizing is this is someone who has quietly gone through something very, very difficult, but they didn't feel they could tell you. They didn't feel they could tell you. Justice. It could be to do with a contract. It could be to do with their job. It could be to do with your marriage. It might have something to do with a Libra for some of you, or this person could be a Libra. So here we have you. You've gone around the houses a little bit, guys, this week. But you're there thinking, is it me? This person is just not opening up. So let's have a look at what you're hoping to achieve here. What are you thinking about, my lovely Cancerians? The Queen of Cups. Okay, Cancer. So you could be a feminine, or you could be a masculine thinking about a feminine. All right. Yeah, Seven of Cups, Cancer. You are just confused. What the hell could it be? I just don't get it. It's not obvious on the outside. This person, though, isn't communicating. They don't want to talk to me. So what am I supposed to do? It's as if I'm stuck. It's as if I'm stuck. The World. Now, there may be an additional issue here, Cancer, if this person travels for work. Or if this is a child of yours, they could be in a different area and it's really difficult to spend quality time with them to figure out what's really going on. Two of Wands. You're standing at crossroads, looking at this globe, thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Is my child going through something major that I need to know about? Or is my partner having a fling with someone? Maybe they fell in love with someone whilst they were traveling and they couldn't tell me, but they're just up in their head about this. That's why they're tetchy with me. How are you feeling, guys? Page of Pentacles. You're trying to get to the root of this. If this is a child of yours, you may have given this child a small amount of money if you felt this was something financial. But as far as you were concerned, they had a really good job, right? They had money in the bank, so they should be fine. If this is your partner, Cancer, with a Page of Pentacles, you may have been extra nice because you wanted your partner to open up to you, to express what was really going on. Nothing has worked. All right, now, in the immediate future, what you're thinking about, Cancer, is this has got something to do with a long-term commitment, or it's got something to do with money. Whoever your person is, they're not talking to you. If you get anything out of them, they're very blunt, they're very sharp. What they're looking at is the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Now, Cancer, they may have got it into your head that you were cheating, and in which case what they're looking at is Five of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. I feel left out in the cold from Cancer. Is Cancer going to walk away from me to be with somebody else? This could be simply miscommunication, guys. You two may have been together for a long time. One of you may work away, and this has been a challenge. So this could be your person thinking that you're cheating on them, you've been worrying that they're cheating on you, but neither of you are actually wanting to talk about it. But your person seems very defensive. If this is a child of yours who lives in another area, you may be under the impression, Cancer, they're doing very well. On the outside, they may have a great job. You may feel this person's got savings in the bank. But what you don't know is that they're actually sat in the Five of Pentacles. This is someone very, very worried about money, about stability. And it's because of something that they know they have to pay that you don't know about. It could be this person got out a loan and you had no idea, and the bank has called in the loan. It could be this person knows quietly that their company is going through restructuring and any minute now they're going to be made redundant. And maybe they've signed a 3-year lease on a rental flat and they're thinking, okay, oh my gosh, how am I going to afford to pay the rent if I can't get a job? This could be somebody who's an entrepreneur who has a massive tax bill to pay and they can't pay it. Maybe their business isn't doing as well as it was in the past, but they still got to pay the tax from last year, and that sort of wipes out any savings. So let's get timing, Cancer. Archangel Michael, when do we have the 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Swords for my Cancerians? Thank you, Michael. I'm hearing imminent. Okay, so any day now, you are going to try and have a really serious conversation with this person. So with the Page of Swords, they're very prickly with you. What are they thinking about? They're thinking about the Four of Pentacles. Cancer, if this is a child of yours, they may believe that you're sat in the 10 of Pentacles whilst they're clutching hold of 4 Pentacles and they're angry about that. Why doesn't mum and dad realise I need help? They could afford to help me, but they're not doing it. If this is your partner, Cancer, they're holding back from you because they believe that you're keeping a secret. What is this person thinking of? The Hangman. This person may be thinking of a Pisces, or this person may feel in a really uncomfortable situation, feel they have to self-sacrifice somehow. This person's going through it, Cancer. Yeah, sleepless nights. 9 of Swords, sleepless nights. They are really stressing out. They may feel as if they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, Cancer. Virgo energy. It's as if they don't want to talk to anyone. They feel they should handle this by themselves, privately, on their own. But they are getting to the point, Cancer, where they feel it has to come out, the truth. Are they actually going to say anything? The Moon. I mean, this is normally your energy. They may feel, Cancer, you're hiding something and they're nervous. They may feel you're keeping a secret. That if they found out what it was, would cause them to be upset. Or guys, they're facing very deep emotions about something that they've been keeping to themselves. All right, what is the Moon? What are they really worried about? They're worried with the 10 of Swords about betrayal. They're worried, Cancer, that it's going to change everything. They could be nervous about a Scorpio or an Aries, or this is someone who may feel they've taken some kind of risk and they're in their head as to whether or not it's going to work out. So Cancer, if this is a child, this is somebody who may have done very, very well. This could be somebody who has set up a great business and they've been very successful. But what you don't know, Cancer, is they've got a lot of debt to clear and they could owe more than they're actually earning. You may not know about this. You may see this person on social media thinking, oh my goodness, they're doing really well. What you don't know is they're flat broke. They are flat broke. If this is a love interest, Cancer, this is someone who has convinced themselves that you've been having an affair. And this is someone who believes that any minute now you're going to walk. It may be because you've been concentrating on other things. It may be, Cancer, because you two have a normal day-to-day life where, if you've been together for 10 years, you got into a routine. You don't sit and chat about your deepest feelings every night. I mean, you just don't. You get on with life, right? But they're in their head. They're wondering, Cancer, whether or not you still love them, if this is a partner. because they see you sat in the Ten of Pentacles nice and secure, but this is money and stability, not love, right? What are you going to say to them, Cancer? You're going to try and draw out of this person what is really bothering them. Three of Wands. You may want to talk to this person about the distance between you two. It could be emotional, it could be geographical. It might be, Cancer, that what you're saying to this person is, look, I think things need to change. How are you feeling at the moment? What's going on with you? You're doing everything you can, guys, to get this person to open up. Chariot. Okay, yeah, Cancer. What you're saying to this person is, if this is a partner, what you're saying is, you're both very busy in your individual lives. You may travel for work or they may travel for work. It's not easy to spend quality time together. You may be reiterating to this person that you wish you could spend more time together. You want to put their mind at rest that you're not interested in anyone else. It might be, if this is a child who lives at a distance, you really want to go and see them to have a face-to-face chat. You feel it's really important. You may have been coping with just Zoom calls or phone calls or voicemails on WhatsApp. It's just not the same because you can't see their facial expression. You can't see their body language, right? What else are you saying? Strength card. You may be wondering if this person is unwell physically. What else are you saying to them? Eight of Pentacles. I hope you're not working too hard, right? You don't want to make yourself unwell. If this is a child, Cancer, you may know this person is working really, really hard. You may feel they've taken on more than they can chew. Or what you're recognizing here is what they're not saying is, despite the fact that they're working long hours, they may be up in their head about money. Now we know, because we've just discussed it, that this person, if this is a child, is on the breadline. But guys, this is you just figuring that out. You're moving towards this person in this beautiful energy of the Knight of Cups. So guys, if this is you visiting a child, this is you saying to your son or daughter, look, I just want to make sure you're okay. I think you're doing really well, but is there something I don't know? Is there something that you don't feel you can tell me or tell us? If this is a partner, Cancer, you may be saying to this person, look, you know, I don't say it very often, but I do love you, right? Don't think there's anyone else, it's just you, but life sometimes just takes over. Oh, guys, what else are you saying? You're feeling heartbroken because what you're saying to this person is, whether this is your child or a partner, I feel so distant from you. You won't open up to me. I don't know what's going on with you. Are they eventually going to come out with what's bothering them? Yes, I think they will. Ace of Swords. They're going to do it. It may be it's sort of blurted out. It might come out in an explosion. They might burst into tears. I don't know, whoever this is. The truth is going to be out on the table. And the truth is either, look, Mum, or look, Dad, I couldn't tell you before, but actually I'm in a lot of financial debt. Yes, you know, you see me doing really well. I've still got my job or I'm running this business, but I owe a huge amount of money and I don't know how I'm going to pay it. It might be, Cancer, this is a partner who's saying to you, well, I've just felt us drift apart over the last few months and I'm absolutely convinced that you're going to leave me. And you may laugh, Cancer, and give this person a hug and a kiss and say, for God's sake, no, if anything, I thought you might have been interested in someone else yourself. And it might break the ice. Cancer, this is you finally getting to the root of what this is. This festered, this is that tiny grain size piece of glass in that dog's paw that you couldn't see, that was not obvious, that you're now gently taking out, removing, you're disinfecting the area, you're putting a bandage on it. This is a much needed conversation. I think, Cancer, if this is a child of yours who's struggling financially, it's not because they're not working. This is obviously somebody who is working, but they may have overreached themselves and now they're not earning as much money as they were, and they're very, very stressed. You may say to this person, if you're sat in the Ten of Pentacles, Cancer, as a parent, you may be saying, oh, for goodness sake, okay, if it's just money, if you're worried you can't pay your rent or your mortgage, for goodness sake, we can help out, or I can help out. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I know that you've been working hard. It's not for lack of trying, which I think, Cancer, will put this person's mind at rest, although they may be very embarrassed to take money from you. They may say to you, well, I'm old enough and ugly enough not to need financial assistance from my parents anymore, but they may be very grateful. It might be, Cancer, that this is someone who is just simply relieved that you're not having an affair. And they may reiterate to you that they're not interested in anyone else, but they felt you two drifting apart recently. So, guys, this is going to be sorted out. Now, with the Ten of Wands, you are hoping after this conversation that you can drop the burden. You're hoping this person opens up and is much more like themselves. And the final card, Cancer, is the Two of Pentacles. Now, you may be trying to make a decision. It might be, shall I book a holiday for my partner and I? Maybe we need some close time. Maybe we need some private time because we haven't been on holiday together for quite a while. It may be you realise time ticks on and you need it. It might be with the Two of Pentacles that you're juggling money to put money into this person's bank account. Maybe this is you recognizing that this is someone sat in fear because they didn't know how long they could support themselves and you never knew. Maybe this is someone very proud. So a judgment call will be made. And Cancer, you're taking charge. Okay, yeah, bless your hearts. King of Pentacles. Now, if you're a masculine, you are stepping up and taking your other half away on holiday. Okay, you may be splashing out a little bit. If, Cancer, you're dealing with a child, you could be a mother or a father who has the money to help this person in their time of need. Simply that. This could be somebody who wanted you to feel as if they were totally independent. I don't need mum or dad. I'm doing really well in my career. They wanted you to be proud of them. They might have simply been embarrassed to turn around and have to say, I'm broke, right? Yeah, it looks as if I'm doing well. It looks as if I've got money in the bank. But to be honest, there's a lot of money I need to pay out for something. It might even be business setup costs or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Knight of Wands. All right. Cancer, you may make a joke with your person if this is you and a partner. You might be saying to your person, God, you really think that I'd attract a lover? Wow, I'm really impressed. You may be there at sort of 60 looking at your partner thinking, God, did you really think I was going to have a fling on you? It might be, Cancer, this is you understanding that whoever was stressed about money here, if this is a child, is now storming ahead thanks to you. They're no longer stressed about money. They're on fire again. They're inspired again. Oh, guys. Oh, this is a lovely ending to this reading. Wheel of Fortune. All right. A new cycle is going to commence. Either a cycle where this person feels far more stable financially and they're going to be really grateful for you helping them out at a time when they really needed it. Or Cancer, you are making changes to a relationship so you two get back on track. Simply that. This is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. Six of Swords. So you could be taking your other half away on holiday, or vice versa, Cancer. Or the Six of Swords, you're finally realizing that whoever's been struggling here financially is able to move to calmer waters. All's well that ends well, guys. The Knight of Pentacles. Cancer, if this is a child, you're going to say to your son or daughter, look, please, if you ever get yourself into a situation that wasn't your fault, you know, if your business just began to flounder because of the economy or something like that, or if you're made redundant, please tell us so we can help you. Don't keep it all bottled up because there's no point. If this is your partner, Cancer, what you're saying to your partner is, I don't want to be with anyone else. I love you. That's why I married you, or that's why I moved in with you. If you have any doubts, please, we need to communicate, you know. It might be a wake-up call, Cancer. You guys need to get closer in the relationship. So people, good news all round. Your son or daughter is going to be really excited and they're going to be inspired to keep going. All right, either get another job or find new ways of bringing money into a business. Or Cancer, this is you and your other half getting flirty again. Yes, guys, peace reigns, 10 of Cups. A perfect ending to a pretty good reading for you guys. You're going to get out of your head. Your person who's been stressed out is going to receive some really good news from you. Whether or not it's, I love you, I'm not cheating, right? I can't even think about being with anyone else. Or this is your child turning around and saying, thank God for you because I didn't have the courage to tell you I was really going through it financially. Do we have a final card for Cancer? The Sun. Guys, interesting. Didn't I speak to you about Cedric holding up a flower or a daisy? Isn't that interesting? No, I think that was a Pisces reading. You may be connecting with the Pisces. Anyway, the Sun is also Leo. I think all's well that ends well. You two may simply head to the Sun on holiday if this is a partnership, or your child, Cancer, may simply be saying to you, thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad. Didn't have the courage to tell you, but I was sort of sinking, you know? Yeah. But guys, all good. So you will get to the root of the issue, Cancer, and it's going to be resolved. Beautiful. I'm leaving it there. Whatever you're up to, take care of you, enjoy yourselves, and I'll be back before you know it with your next set of readings. See you soon, guys. Bye now.